What's up, all you motherfuckers? How you doing today? It's Random Wrestling Talk, episode number 38. We got a special live stream here today. We're going to discuss mostly just news and rumors. I'm not getting into Monday Night Raw tonight because I didn't actually watch the show. So yeah. Uh I'm a little bit behind on things. I was actually gaming with one of my friends and thought, what the hell, life is too short. I'd rather game than watch wrestling and probably get bored out of my fucking mind. So I chose to game with my friend, and that was basically it. Um so I did take a look at some of the news going around so I'd be prepared for this episode. It might be long depending on how many people are actually interacting with me in the chat and so forth, so we can keep the ball rolling and whatnot. But worst case scenario, we'll probably go about 30 to 40 minutes at best, based on the reactions of every chat and, commentary, so forth and so on. Anyway, I got some big news. John Cena. Oh my gosh. This is fucking insane, man. John Cena possibly penciled in for WrestleMania 39 to go up against Stone Cold Steve Austin. Huh? Really? Stone Cold Steve Austin and John Cena one-on-one at WrestleMania. Where does this benefit anybody? We get to see some unbelievable match that's never been booked before, finally booked before our eyes. A dream match. But there's one small problem. Both of them are old as fuck. They no longer wrestle in the WWE on a regular basis. You want to know what I personally would love to see? John Cena going up against Gunther for the WWE Intercontinental Championship, a title that John Cena has never won. Pretty much kind of going after everything that he has not won before in his career. That would be the one title he has never won, is the IC Championship. So, to be perfectly honest with you, I think that would definitely help out Gunther. He'd face one of the biggest names in the business. Don't get me wrong. I think John Cena, Stone Cold Steve Austin idea would work if it was, 10 years ago. But it's 2022. Both of these guys are pretty burnt out. I think John Cena is kind of burnt out from the whole, wrestling and whatnot. I think he just does it specifically for a big moment or something like that here and there. But he's not really interested in actually wrestling anymore. In my personal opinion, I think that Gunther would be a great opponent for him to go up against. It's something that he would be able to help elevate Gunther to the next level. Um, I'll be straight up honest with you guys. Out of everybody outside of Cody Rhodes and Bray Wyatt, I think Gunther would be the best opponent to dethrone Roman Reigns. I mean, this guy is brutal. He is stiff in the ring, and he's a fucking monster of a dude. So this guy could definitely get a boost off of John Cena being his opponent and beating him for his IC championship. I think that would be a great idea. Will it happen? Probably not. There's other options that have been posted before, like John Cena versus Austin Theory. We also got a possibility of Logan Paul throwing a text out to Triple H asking him if he could go ahead and face John Cena at WrestleMania. Oh, God. John Cena and Logan Paul? God help me. Holy fuck. Wow. Cat Ink Pen says, help, I have puppy junk in my face. Okay. Apparently, Cat has her dog up in her face and he's licking the crap out of her. She's one of my personal friends. But yeah. Anyway. Um random comment there, Cat. Anyway. Yeah, John Cena and Logan Paul, I don't know about, man. That is just fucking weird. I mean, they already gave Logan Paul a match with Roman Reigns. Why they got to give him a match with John Cena? Like, is that really necessary? Important thing to do? I don't think so. I think Logan Paul, technically, in my book, outside of his wrestling ability, I hate him as a person. I think he's a fucking dumbass. But I won't discredit him. He is a great wrestler in what he does. But I am not a fan of Logan Paul whatsoever. Cat Ink Pen says, fits the topic. John Cena is random as fuck, too. Um, Apparently, Cat, you don't like John Cena? Oh man, you're the first woman I've ever heard saying that she don't like John Cena. Holy shit. Matt 87 Eagles says Cena versus Edge is in a one final match, co-retirement match at WrestleMania is a made money. I don't know about that, Matt. I think John Cena and Edge should be saved once Edge has a world championship run under his belt. I don't know when that's gonna happen. He may not get it all for all we know. I don't know if Edge is actually retiring at WrestleMania 39, but if he is, yeah, I kind of agree. I think Cena versus Edge would be an awesome matchup if they're both retiring at the same time and making this their final match. I don't know how they can make it an actual rivalry outside of just two old legends going at it one final time to prove who is the best out of their rivalry. That's about the only storyline I can imagine them picking up on with that idea. Um, so I don't know. Matt 87 Eagle says you don't need a title for those two. No, I'm not saying that you need a title. I'm saying that Edge should win the WWE championship or WWE Universal Undisputed Championship and then eventually lose it to somebody else. And then later on down the road, they have the John Cena Edge match for a finale match between those two guys and have them both retire. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they should have a title. I totally agree with you. I don't think there's any need for a championship to be on the line. Um, so yeah. Um, but yeah, I'm not too keen on the idea of John Cena joining um John Cena joining the actual WrestleMania event. I'm not too keen on The Rock either. I think The Rock is over the hill. He's done his final match with John Cena in 2013 for the WWE Championship. They took care of that. He got a fucking hernia, for goodness sakes, and had to get it surgically fixed. So at the end of the day, is it really necessary for The Rock to even come back? I want to see our current superstars that are wrestling in the company actually compete for the WWE championship belts. I don't want to see any fucking, old school wrestler coming back wrestling for a championship. It's not necessary, it's not needed. Um John Cena, on the other hand, I would book a match. I would bring John Cena back for a match at WrestleMania 39, but not against Stone Cold Steve Austin. I think Gunther would be the best opponent for him, especially with the Intercontinental Championship. And it would tell a great story of John Cena trying to accomplish winning all championship belts in his career and coming short against Gunther and Gunther giving him the fight of his life. I think that would have been, I think that would be the best match for him at WrestleMania 39. And I would totally be for that match 100%. So let me check here real quick. I bookmarked some of these articles. So let me go ahead and pull this up. Speaking of Gunther, oh gosh, JD from New York 206 went ahead and actually did a small video discussing about what Vince McMahon would have done if he would have stayed in power. Get this shit. You guys are going to be blown away by this because I was when I read it. Vince McMahon had plans to bury Gunther and send him back to WWE NXT. Are you fucking kidding? You're going to take one of the best wrestlers that is like old school. He wrestles like Bruno Sammartino type shit. him and dump him to NXT, which is now the piss pool of all fucking places to fuck. Let me go over this with you guys. Yeah, Matt, 87 Eagle, 100%. Vince is a fucking lunatic. What the hell? Things could have gone much differently for Gunther in the second half of 2022 if Vince McMahon was still running WWE main roster's creative instead of Triple H. Writer WrestleVotes has provided more details on its original report from earlier this year, where it was reported that McMahon soured on Gunther and there were plans to bury him on TV following his segment with R-Truth on the 4th of July edition for Monday Night Raw. What? You're the one who put him with fucking R-Truth, who's the biggest parody of a wrestler at this point in his career you can possibly imagine. And to be quite frank with you, I don't understand who the fuck would do that with R-Truth. I don't know why R-Truth is not being utilized in a serious role. I think he was great back in 2011. I enjoyed him very much as a heel. His teaming with The Miz was funny as shit and great, and it was good stuff. And now he's just a laughing stock of a wrestler. I don't understand what, even in Triple H's administration, he's still shit. I hate R-Truth. He's a fucking goofball. Anyway, the Intercontinental Champion interrupted an Independence Day skit hosted by the veteran wrestler before beating him in a match. It wasn't clear at the time what the issue was with McMahon and Gunther. Vince McMahon on Gunther, basically what they have to say is, give me a second, I'm pressing the read more button if I can get it to go. Matt 87 Eagle says, thank goodness Vince McMahon's gone. Yeah, no shit. God help us all if he wouldn't have been. Come on, man. The fuck? You gotta be fucking shitting me right now. This is fucking bullshit. Cat Inkpen is asking, what is Gunther's stage name or IRL name? He goes by Gunther now. He used to go by the name Walter in the Independent, but when he came to the main roster, Vince McMahon felt it was absolutely necessary to change his name to Gunther, which is actually a fucking gosh darn see. Number one, who do you think is the last person that's going to be in the Survivor Series? I don't fucking know. I haven't been watching the show that much. I'm a fucking wrestling. I'm supposed to be a wrestling fanatic. The only show I've been following is AEW. Raw is too fucking long for me to sit through for 3 hours and get bored out of my mind and have maybe 2 or 3 good segments. I even think Triple H is giving up on this fucking horrendous idea of a 3-hour show. I really do, because he's getting some good things in there, and then there's other things he's just, lowballing it or just doesn't give a shit. Survivor Series, I have no idea who's even doing what, to be quite frank with you. I'd like to know why the hell this thing won't do anything. It's pissing me off. All right, let me try this again. But yeah, I don't know who the fuck's going to be in there. And to be quite frank with you, the show I've heard has been lackluster at best. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares. It's just been, there, basically. Rachel Buck says, so you don't think Survivor Series is going to be good, or do you think it's going to be bad? I don't know. I think it's probably going to turn out to be good. Personally, I've been noticing some things about wrestling. I'm starting to notice that week-to-week televisions don't really help out the wrestling products by any means. I think people are just burnt out from it. We've seen so many different variations, ideas, combinations, creative ways of booking shows and stuff like that, that we've run out of it. And it's just become redundant. and people are just not really into it anymore. I know I'm not. I get into the pay-per-views. I enjoy the pay-per-views, but the week-to-week shows, I just don't enjoy. Even AEW Dynamite, but at least they're only 2 hours. They're once a week. The Rampage, I don't even consider that a fucking show anymore. I consider that a a mainstream dark type show where they show it on YouTube and give you a bunch of fucking random matches to throw together. But honestly, I don't particularly care for the Rampage whatsoever. So I'm not a fan of it. But whatever. Matthew Consuelo, hey, what's up, man? Thank God Vince McMahon is retired. Absolutely 100% agree with you. And he also says Triple H needs to hit the reset button. How many fucking times are we going to hit the reset button here? How many fucking times? Like, just get with the program and book a fucking good show. Get rid of the 3 hours of Raw. Give us 2 hours of Raw. That way you don't have to fucking overkill us with freaking content. It's ridiculous. That's another thing that makes Raw suck ass. Can't fucking stand that 3 hour shit. That's why I record the shit and I skip all the commercials. It lowers it down to like 40 minutes less. Rachel Buck, she says, did you hear that? I already reported this in the very beginning of the show before you came in, Rachel. She's asking, did you hear that Stone Cold Steve Austin wants to wrestle at WrestleMania 39 and it's Raw? Because what I reported is John Cena. Your connection is unstable. Please wait while we try reconnecting. What the fuck? Oh, on my end, everything's coming in okay. Can you guys hear me, see me? What's going on here? Let me know in the chat. Because everything seems fine. All right. Thing went away, so it doesn't matter. Anyway. Gunther. Yeah, there it is. All right, come on. Read more. All right, here we go. While speaking with Give Me Sport Wrestle Votes, noted that Gunther was going to be buried and sent to NXT if McMahon was still in charge, but McMahon resigned 2 weeks later from this episode before he went forward with his plans. I know that Vince McMahon just didn't like what he saw on Raw and was over him. Like, legitimately wanted to bury him, go back to NXT, that type of stuff. You know, reading this comment that was made to me just seems like Vince McMahon just got easily bored of these performers. Like, you literally just one little thing. I mean, every little thing never satisfied Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon would find something wrong with you. That's a fucking huge problem. I don't know why in the hell Vince McMahon would do such a thing like that. Outside of the fact he's insane, but that's besides the point. But no, honestly, this is ridiculous that this guy was planning on doing all this insane shit with this dude. This guy is killing it on this fucking main roster. He's one of the most entertaining things on the show. He's a guy that you can imagine becomes a main eventer and holds the WWE championship belts for a very, very, very long time, like he did with the NXT UK championship, and just like what Roman Reigns is doing right now currently with the 2 championships. That is the guy I would put the title on besides Cody Rhodes or Bray Wyatt. Now, if you're splitting the 2 titles, I give it to both of those guys, Bray Wyatt and Cody Rhodes. But if you're keeping it on one guy, Roman Reigns is the dude that should be facing him for the titles. Anyway, continuing on with the show. Hold on, guys. 1 second. Sorry, guys, about that. My roommate was asking me if they remembered to put their eye drops in. Sorry about that. It was kind of important, so I do apologize to you guys. Um. Anyway, where was I? Yeah. If you're not splitting the two titles and it's remaining on Roman Reigns, and we have a undisputed champion carrying both belts, the guy that should be taking the title from Roman Reigns should be Gunther. Plain and simple. Hands down, no question about it. The guy. Bray Wyatt, on the other hand, you could find him other opponents leading him into an eventual world championship run. I mean, you could put Bray Wyatt against Gunther and make him the guy that dethrones Gunther somewhere down the line if you wanted to do something like that. I would be totally for that. But the truth of the matter is, guys, this is fucking insane that Vince McMahon actually was thinking about doing such an insane thing. It really is. It's nuts. All right. Matthew Consuelo says NXT was great back in the day. A lot of people said that point where it got on USA Network. That's when the show was really on the show during the time in the WWE Network when it was on there. So it's really at this point, I don't even care about NXT. I don't watch it. I don't know from it. I don't give a fuck about it. So that's all I have to say about that. Matthew Consuelo also says Austin Theory lost the Money in the Bank briefcase last week. Yes, I am aware. I am still against the idea of Austin Theory cashing in on a U.S. champion. And there was more about that. They explained that on Raw. I heard JD from New York 206's review. He said it was a good explanation, but he still didn't agree with the way they constructed this whole idea. I totally agree with him. The explanation was interesting, but at the same time, it seemed a little weak. Because let's face facts, guys, they could have waited 2 more months, had Austin Theory say, look, Roman, I've been trying to cash in on you for months now. Every time I try to, somebody's there, somebody's trying to fuck me over or trying to cash it in on you. So I'm going to do it the old fashioned way, and I'm going to challenge you at the Royal Rumble one-on-one for the 2 belts and no outside interference. All bloodline barred from ringside. Is that a deal? He says, yeah. They show Roman Reigns has some balls. He says, really? All right, cool. I'll take it and I'll beat your ass and still retain these 2 belts. That's what I would have done and had Austin Theory do a Logan Paul type of match. It would have been perfect. Logan Paul did it great. Why wouldn't Austin Theory be able to do the same thing? It would help elevate Austin Theory. You'd also get an idea of what this kid can do in a high stakes match at a very important show like the Royal Rumble. He doesn't have to win a world championship to prove that he's worthy to be in a world title picture later on down the road. And I think that would have been the best idea for them to do. And they used to do that back in the day. They used to have a guy that you never thought would ever challenge for a world championship. He'd lose, but he'd look great in defeat. That is my point. And I think that would have been the best way to go with the bank, the Money in the Bank briefcase. And I'll tell you why. The contract specifically says it's to be able to challenge for any world championship in the company, not any championship. It says for a world championship opportunity, a world title, not a mid-card title, not a tag team championship belt. It is for the world heavyweight championship, whoever that might be. If there's only one world champion or 2, it don't matter. The world champion was the one to be challenged for. That was a logic gap they did there. I have never seen in the course of the history of the Money in the Bank briefcase, have I ever seen a performer challenge and cash in on a mid-card championship ever in this business. Ever. And that is a fucking problem. That is looking for an escape to get out of a situation that you know you're not going to win. And so your idea is, let's just get it over with, fast track it, get it out of the way. So because nobody believes he's going to win a championship with the briefcase. So let's just go ahead and say fuck it and let him cash in on a mid-card title. And on top of it, lose to a guy who was beaten down by Bobby Lashley, of all people, and still manages to fucking lose. You got to be kidding me, man. JD's review. And they somewhat did the right thing, and they made him look good. They're showing the audience that they're not quitting on Austin Theory, but let's be real, man. I mean, Austin Theory should have not lost to a mid-card championship match. He should have never been cashing in like this. I already stated, I'm not going to say it again. Well, actually, Daniel came in. Hey, Daniel, what's up, man? No problem. I'm glad you're here. For Daniel only, let me ask you this question, Daniel. You answer this in the chat. Wouldn't you agree that Austin Theory should have went ahead and just challenged Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble, said, barred the bloodline from ringside. Roman Reigns agrees to the request, so he doesn't get screwed over. He basically says, I'm going to beat you clean. And he does that, and they do a Logan Paul type match at the Royal Rumble. Do you agree that would have been the better option with Austin Theory, Daniel, since you came in late? I'd like to hear what your feelings are on that. I'll come back to you once you are able to type that in. But yeah, I mean, shit. That would have been the best idea. Daniel says Theory should have done that, and I would have liked his character better since I didn't like him before anyway. Yeah, they've changed his character from what I heard. He's getting rid of all the, selfies and all that bullshit. So that's a plus. That is a huge, huge plus. And I personally think that is something you need to do, because that character Vince McMahon had him portraying was fucking awful. I couldn't stand it. It was terrible. All right. Off of the whole Austin Theory thing. See what other articles I pulled up here. All right. Got two other articles, and then we'll be calling it a night. I got Sierra or Raya, whatever way you want to pronounce her fucking name. She says she feels that she's going to be under a microscope for AEW in-ring debut. I totally agree with her on that. I think she will be, and it's very necessary that they do this, simply because of the fact that she is dealing with a major injury she's coming back from, and they want to make sure she's in the best shape possible to be able to perform at the highest level. And I think they're going to be, paying very close attention ahead of her Full Gear match, Britt Baker, which I think is going to be an awesome match. I really do. I think they're going to kill it. Ahead of her first match in nearly 5 years, Saraya is already feeling the pressure for this Saturday's AEW Full Gear. Talking to Chris Van Vliet, she said that her match against Britt Baker on the pay-per-view is going to be a big deal for everybody involved. I'm going to be under a microscope. That everything I'm going to be doing is going to be scrutinized, she said, adding she is going to stay off social media after the match because of it. Wow. She'll be fucking scared out of her damn mind. Matt87 Eagle, he says, shame they're doing a Styles versus Baylor match instead of a traditional Survivor Series elimination match with the OC versus the Judgment Day. Well, I don't have any problems with AJ Styles versus Finn Balor, but it kind of would have made more sense to have the whole gang involved. That would have made a lot more sense. Let me see. Oh yeah, I already stated that. All right, okay, I'm all caught up here. Matthew Quincelo also says that does Jamie Hayter turn face at full? I don't think she's going to turn on Britt Baker. I don't think Britt Baker's turning on her. Matt87 Eagle says, I guess they only want to focus on the War Games match. What is there only one War Games match, or is it going to be men's War Games and women's War Games? I'm not even sure. Doesn't even matter. I think outside of War Games, I don't think anything else on the show even matters. So I'm not sure about that, but whatever. Anyway, so formerly Paige in WWE, Saraya hasn't wrestled since December 2017 due to sustaining another neck injury that put her in-ring career on the shelf. After her surprise AEW on-screen debut in September, Saraya has been more physical in recent weeks leading up to her return. To her, she said she wants to ensure both herself and Britt Baker are safe on Saturday while telling a good story and having a good match. She also states that I'm already too much in my head to point where I just want to be good, where I want to be good. I have a focus. I have to focus on making sure that I keep myself safe and make sure Brett Baker is safe as well. And the pressure of having a match is wild to me. It's a beautiful story, but it makes me nervous at the same time. I think she's going to do well. Honestly, guys, I really do. I think that she is going to have a very entertaining matchup. I think that she will do a great job with Brett Baker. And I think we're going to get like an AJ Lee Page type matchup between these two women. I think those two did a great job. I think Brett Baker and her will do the same. So I'm not too worried about it unless something seriously goes wrong, like her health or her body or what have you. Um, Give me 1 second. I just want to answer a text message from someone. Give me 1 sec, guys. All right. I wanted to go ahead and answer that. Um, cat ink pen faces with the stupid icons. All right, the emojis, whatever. I'm old. What do you want? I'm 34 years old. I feel like I'm 50. All right. Well, I don't really feel like I'm 50. If anything, I don't even look like I'm 50. But point being is, I honestly think that Saraya, whatever the fucking way you pronounce her damn name, I think she's gonna do well. I don't think she's got too much to worry about. I think she's got a lot to worry about with the fans because the fans are fucking fickle. I mean, literally, people complain about every little thing. You could do everything perfectly and somebody would complain about it. I mean, I'm not kidding. You could do a good matchup, do what you need to do, and still get told that you sucked. That's ridiculous. This is the dumbest fucking thing I ever heard in my life. I mean, I've seen people where they had great matches, good stories, and somebody somewhere in a hole in a wall would say, "Oh, well, that sucked. It wasn't entertaining. It wasn't that good." Da 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 da. What the fuck? Well, the majority of people are freaking happy to actually see the entire story unfold in front of them and then see the match happen at the pay per view. I mean, what? Now, this story, I will admit, it wasn't exactly heavily thought out. It was very simplistic, which sometimes that is the best way to go is keep things simplistic. Don't overdo it. Um, it's always about quality over quantity. You want to make sure that the quality is better than anything else. If you don't have the quality, then it's fucking pointless. Cat Ink Pen says you're 50, don't lie. That's what you get living under that rock. Laugh out loud. If it's not wrestling related, you have no idea. Just kidding. But I intend for that to wait till later. What the fuck? Okay. All right. Well, thanks for the insult, Cat. I appreciate it. I know you're just kidding around. Anyway, um, Yeah. I mean, it's always about the quality. It's not about the actual full-fledged quantity. It's about the quality. So if you got a simplistic story that tells a good story and it makes sense. I mean, their story basically is about an old wrestler from a big corporation coming over after getting injured, getting fired, and she comes in and she actually ends up going ahead and literally uh goes ahead. I'm getting sidetracked from Cat Inkpen's comment over here. I'm seeing it and fucking distracting me. All right. Anyway, let's get focused here. Let's focus on what we're talking about. Their storyline's real simple. It is about Soraya coming from another corporation into another promotion and trying to make a name for herself. While Britt Baker has technically been very, very entertaining at what she does, but you have to admit a lot of this has been given to her thanks to the relationship she has with Tony Khan. So the truth of the matter is this: you have to go ahead and care about Jesus Christ. All right, I got to read this comment that Cat Inkpen just stated. It's what I'm here for. You're telling me I suck at video games. I'll tell you your emoji game sucks. Okay, whatever. Let me get that. I got that off my chest. Now let me go ahead and continue what I was saying. So I go ahead. Basically, she's coming over from one promotion to another, and she's actually going ahead and trying to make a name for herself in the same promotion that Britt Baker has made a name in her promotion, in the same promotion in AEW. So that is the point of the storyline. It's that fucking simple. Soraya is trying to earn her right to say she is part of the AEW roster. I think this is the best women's match that has been booked since Britt Baker going up against Thunder Rosa in that lights out match. That was a great story as well. That was a great match too. This is actually no different. And I think we're going to really enjoy this match. It's going to be better than the world championship for the women's division. So I think the women's title is taking a fucking backseat, which is kind of sad because at the same time, you kind of wonder what the fuck are they doing with the women's title? When you got a great story like this, you couldn't make the women's title have any importance on the show. That I will agree with. Anyone that complains about that, I totally agree with you on that. I think that's a crock of shit. So I don't understand it. I think it's absolutely insane. Matthew Consuelo thinks that Thunder Rosa should go to WWE. Why? All AEW needs to do is treat her with some fucking respect. That's all they need to do. They don't have to, ship her off to the other promotion because I don't know. She might make it in WWE. Who knows? She definitely would be she'd be a brand new face in the promotion. I'll tell you that much. They wouldn't need to put her in NXT. She's already made it to the big times on the main roster of AEW, and she's done well in certain aspects. But creatively, AEW has dropped the ball with the women's division 100%. And going into any of you that have a problem with JD from New York 206 about the whole incident with Jade Cargill, he went ahead and I know I have a video up. If you haven't checked it out, go ahead, but I'll give you a brief synopsis and give you guys a general idea what is going on with this. If you guys have any bad ill will towards JD from New York 206, he actually sent out a tweet based on the fact that Jade Cargill being with no title because her title has been stripped away from her. So he hates the booking of AEW for the women's division. That's the first thing. Secondly, they got a woman named Marina Shafir, who's a terrible fucking wrestler. I watched her wrestle twice. I almost fell asleep watching her matches. And she got 2 women's world title matches. And I literally could not believe they gave her a championship opportunity when all she does is wrestle on AEW Dark, which is on YouTube. You don't even see her on the main show, which is Dynamite. That's ridiculous. Insane. should never even be booked for a world championship match unless she's winning on the main show. That is retarded. So, that point being, when he saw that on the AEW Twitter page, he responded. He said, "Oh my God, please no." And then Jay Cargill breaks in. She gets all flippity and acts nuts on him, says he's a sexist. He don't care about the women's division. That is such a crock of shit. It is ridiculous. I have seen this guy say nothing but things of this. The creative booking of the women's division sucks. Now, there's a difference between saying the women wrestlers suck and saying the booking of the women's division sucks. That's not being sexist. He wants the booking of the women's division to be better so that don't suck creatively. That's the difference. These women think if he says, "Oh, if the booking sucks, that means the women's division sucks as well." No, it's totally different. Now, if he's saying the women wrestlers in that company are shit, then yeah, he is kind of shitting on them. There's no doubt about it. Now, unless they are really that shitty, and I will admit, there are some women wrestlers out there that absolutely fucking suck. They really do. Matthew Consuelo is bringing up I miss Adam Cole, baby. Yes, I brought him up last week on episode number 37. I discussed that here on the channel, and he is in deep shit with this injury he has. They have no clear idea of when he will be coming back whatsoever. So I have no idea what's going on with that. None. But yeah, I honestly have been missing Adam Cole. I think he is one of the biggest performers on that show. And I don't give a fuck what his size is. Because if anybody's going to shit on people's size, you might as well be insulting me as well. Because I'm only 5'6". So you can all kiss my ass. Just because you're 5'11" doesn't mean you're not qualified enough to give your audience a good, entertaining match and actually be notated as a actual world champion. Matthew Consuelo says you agree with me. What are you asking me what I agree with you on? Roderick Strong is better wrestler than Marina. Well, that's easy, Matthew. I mean, shit. Anybody's better than Marina Shafir. Fuck, Dana Brooke is better than Marina Shafir. And that's pretty sad to say because I'm not a big fan of her wrestling either. I mean, she's not an ugly woman, but my gosh, man, she is terrible in the ring, Dana Brooke, but she is far better than Marina Shafir. I think Marina Shafir is the absolute worst performer in the business as a female wrestler. Absolutely 100%. Roderick Strong is better than his wife. I mean, I'm not shitting on sex here. I'm shitting on performance. She is garbage. I mean, Becky Lynch equals the type of wrestling that Roderick Strong can produce. Becky Lynch, of all people. And some people shit on her wrestling. I don't give a fuck anyway, because I think her wrestling is pretty damn good. Matthew Consuelo says Sky Blue is good. I'm not. I'd have to go back and watch her match because I wasn't really paying attention to her match last week against Jamie Hayter, but I didn't particularly care for the match. So, I mean, if you like her, great. I'm happy for you. She's not an ugly woman to look at by any means, but I mean, we're going based off of wrestling performance, not by looks. Because then at that point, we're pretty much treating them like they're eye candy instead of performers. So Daniel, he went ahead and he said some of the wrestlers are really good, but I think they might have been overlooked in some areas, honestly. If they're not going to do much with them, then what was the point of signing them like Andrade? Oh, yeah. Miro, I saw an article. He was actually making a joke about him being missing in action. And Lana, his wife, is actually being rumored to possibly joining with AEW so she can be his manager. If that was to happen, I would be extremely happy with that idea. I think that would make Miro a very important asset at that point because those two together in WWE was great. I love what they did when they first came in. And then they broke them up, brought them back together. It was ridiculous after they brought them back together and so forth. Even breaking them up was dumb. I don't even understand the point of that. I thought that was really retarded. But hey, what are you going to do? Anyway, Daniel says, I feel bad for Miro. I hope he returns soon. I miss seeing him in the ring personally. Yeah, I think he's a great asset to the company. Matthew Consuelo says, movie titles these days don't make sense. Even music, too. Oh, music today, unless you're an independent performer or, I mean, the rock industry is still good in some cases, but rap industry, unless they're an independent rapper, don't fucking listen to them. They're shit. All they do is rap about fucking, fucking, which is nothing bad about that, but, um, but the thing is that there's other things they promote, such as drug influence, being reckless, death, very negative, bad things, and teaching the black community a very bad way to live life. And I feel bad for the black community. I think that they are totally mistreated by police. I think the police take the fact that because they're black, that is they have to be afraid or worried that they might do something like every other person they've dealt with in the past, so they generalize them, which is not good. I understand where the mindset comes from, but at the same time, they're still people. They're not pieces of trash. So treat them as such. I mean, if they're trying to, break the rules anyway and not listen and cooperate with you, then at that point, you got to do what you got to do, and that's all there is to it. Just try to avoid not killing them because they're just fucked up, messed up individuals. We all are messed up, fucked up individuals. Everyone in this chat is fucked up. I'm fucked up. Everyone is fucked up. Everyone's got a fucking problem in their head, and there ain't nothing you can do about it except deal with it. That's all there is to it. So that's all I have to say on that point. But yeah, I mean, like I said, the music industry is fucking messed up. I don't particularly care for a lot of music these days. I listen to a lot of old school rock music. I listen to the early 2000s. But anything else besides independent rap music and rock music, I don't listen to it because it doesn't mean shit to me. It's not that entertaining. It's all the same shit. It's just repetitive shit like WWE and AEW. We've seen this shit before. The bottom line is, guys, it's real simple. We need to get back to the fucking basics. Let's get to wrestling. Let's be a fucking sport, not a joke show where we got to have all these fucking insane storylines to make things entertaining. You want to do that? Have a reality TV show on a week-to-week basis, and then during the pay-per-view, we actually have wrestling. You want to do that? Fine. I've actually thought about something like that. Have reality television within the wrestling promotion for a week-to-week televised show. And then pay-per-view comes, we see actual wrestling matches on a pay-per-view where we're challenging for belts and so forth and so on. That's the way I would do it. I mean, you can have matches on the week-to-week basis, but it's not that big of a deal or a major important thing to have on the show. But hey, that's just me. Matthew Consuelo is also saying, and TV shows too. TV shows, Matt, they're trash. I don't barely watch TV anymore. Outside of pro football, college football, actually, basketball, and pro wrestling, I don't really watch anything on television. I don't need television for movies. I got a fucking ton of movies. I got over 500 fucking movies digitally, and hard copy, I got over 200 of those fucking bitches. I'm loaded with movies. I could start my own fucking movie store if I want. Fortunately, the digital copies I can't really release to anybody outside of giving them access to my account, which is something I would not do. So, yeah. Because you guys could end up buying shit and adding stuff onto my account without me knowing about it. I sure as hell ain't dealing with that crap. Anyway, yeah, what else? Oh yeah, there's one other article I want to talk to you guys about, and then we'll close up shop. We've kind of hung in there. We're almost at an hour like we normally do. So let me go straight over to the one other article, which is Billy Gunn from AEW. He actually there was an article on him. Let me go over that with you guys. Just gotta pull it up here. All right, so Billy Gunn is actually baffled by his own AEW popularity. So, kind of give you a brief synopsis of his career. AEW star Billy Gunn has been wrestling since 1989. Holy shit, I didn't know he was wrestling that far. I didn't know he was wrestling in 1989. I thought he was wrestling in the mid 90s when he was with the Smoking Guns. If anyone even remembers that tag team. Matthew Consuela is asking who booked the Attitude Era. That was Vince Russo. He's the one who started the idea of the Attitude Era in 1997. He was the one that booked it came up with the idea, and he turned the entire wrestling promotion around with WCW. Then he eventually got kicked out of the company. I forgot for what reason, or he just felt he was not being appreciated or something like that. So he wanted to go to the other side, to the competition. And unfortunately, his booking ways did not work there. And I think a lot of that, from what I heard, had a lot to do with Kevin Nash being the booker of the show. And it made a little too much about himself and not enough about the entire promotion. That's why you still were seeing Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage. I mean, these guys are great wrestlers, but still at the same time, I mean, they were there in the top spot for way too long and overstayed their welcome in my book. Matthew Consuela says, and the crowds look dead almost every week for the women on Raw and SmackDown. Matthew Consuela, I'm sorry to tell you, but the crowd seemed to be dead on every Raw show. SmackDown, somewhat of a crowd reaction. AEW Dynamite, it has some crowd reaction. I think in some places they go, the shows are really good. Some shows, there's barely enough interaction. So it's a shit fest everywhere you go. Wrestling is a dying product. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. I haven't been very happy with wrestling. I've been very disappointed. I mean, I see a lot of changes trying to be made within WWE, which I give them A for effort for that. But at the end of the day, I'm still not entertained by the show. I get very bored. I look through my phone. I talk to my friends. I don't care. The shows are not that great. You go watch Attitude Era. You watch the Ruthless Aggression Era. You watch fucking even WCW Nitro with the same repetitive shit with the NWO. It still was better than the shit now. Outside of Roman Reigns, MJF, Seth Rollins, these shows suck. That's all there is to it, man. I mean, look at AEW. AEW's tag team wrestling is shit. I'll be honest with you guys. You guys all say, oh, it's so exciting. You get to see everyone jump around and do these flips and dives. I want to see tag team wrestling. I don't want to see a tornado tag every fucking time we see a match. Look at WWE's tag team wrestling. Granted, it's a very piss poor fucking division. I will admit that. There's barely anybody in it. But when they have a tag team wrestling match, most of the time it's spent tagging in and out. The only time it turns into a tornado tag type of format is near the end when things start becoming chaotic. With the AEW tag team wrestling, they have turned it into a nonstop fiasco where there's people coming in and out of the ring and there's no tags being made. How the fuck can you even keep up with who is the legal man and who isn't? I sometimes don't even know who the legal man is because I get lost in the shuffle with all this fucking confusion. It's ridiculous. And I find it absolutely fucking annoying. Is the action fast paced? Is it high tempo? Yes, I will admit that, but still, it is not the proper way to do a tag team match. It's fucked up. And when they do six man, oh my God, it's fucking insane. Like, give it a rest. Have two men in the ring. The two other guys from each team are standing on the outside of the ring on the apron and waiting for a tag. Can we get some actual tag team wrestling instead of tornado wrestling? This is fucking nuts. That's one of the things that bugs the living shit out of me. Matthew Consuelo says in the rematches too, when Vincent Mann was booking stuff, he forgot everything. Oh, God. Well, we don't need to bring that up anymore because that is just utterly ridiculous. He goes on and says, does the same match over and over. Well, it is what it is. I don't know what to tell you, man. I think that I think wrestling as a whole, it's not that good. It really isn't. I don't want to sugarcoat it for you guys, but the only reason why I continue to do these videos and do these live stream with you guys is on account of you guys. I love the interaction I have with you. I mean, look at all the interaction I'm having. I mean, it's Matthew Consuelo, Daniel, and Matt 87 Eagle and Cat Inkpen. But still, at the end of the day, you guys are the real reason why I still do this. If I didn't have an audience of some kind, I wouldn't care to do this at all. I'm not making any money off of it. It's not a huge priority to me. And if I never make this as a job, I don't care because I have a job. I enjoy my job. Does it pay a lot? It pay me a lot? No, it doesn't pay me anything like what I would get on YouTube if I got really big, but I'm okay with that. As long as I'm able to pay my bills and keep a roof over my head, that's all that matters to me. That's it. The rest of it is all just a bunch of boo hockey. All fucking just aspirations and wish and prayers and dreams. I want reality. I want to live in the real. I don't want to live in some fantasy world where more than likely I'm not going to achieve that. Now, you may say that's low self-esteem. You may say that's bad way of looking at things and a terrible attitude. And my attitude is I don't care. I don't give a fuck what you have to say. You're not paying my bills. So unless you want to come over here and start paying my bills, I'll try to make this channel fucking bigger than what it already is. Okay? But no offense. Anybody that wishes me good luck, I greatly appreciate that. I thank you guys very much for caring, but it's okay. I'm all right where I am, and I'm happy with interacting with you guys. And Matthew Consuelo, dude, man, what the fuck? You're just unloading comments in the chat, man. You are MVP of the night for the chat. Anyway, guys. Let me go ahead and read off some of Matthew Consuelo's comments. Jeez Louise, man. All right. So he went on to discuss about the Miz and Dexter Lumis storyline is crap. Oh, yeah. They turned that storyline into something that could have been great, and they turned it into dog shit at the end. The whole thing was about Dexter Lumis getting paid so he can make the Miz look good and get a better offer from Hollywood. What the hell? What the fuck is that? And so because of that, he didn't want to pay him after a period of time because he didn't want to keep shelling out the money. And that made Dexter Lumis continue to go after him after all the other situations that took place. I'm going, how does this even correlate with anything? How does this make any sense? Man sitting in his house. Like, what the fuck? Oh, man. All right. And the other comment, Matthew Consuelo stated that connects to the Miz and Dexter Lumis. He's asking, what are they doing with Johnny Gargano? And he's saying, end the storyline already. I totally agree. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with this storyline. I really am going to be dumbfounded once I watch this episode. I will be reviewing this Thursday night if I possibly can get around to doing it. If not, oh well, I don't give a fuck. It's just Raw. Who cares? 3 hours of unbelievable torment. That's what Raw is. It's like watching Nitro with 3 hours. I've been watching Nitro and I've gotten to the part within the chronological order. I'm in 1998 Nitro, and my God, I don't know how any of you WCW diehard fans could actually sit through that every single week for 3 hours, but I'm trying to, and it literally bores the fucking hell out of me. There are some things on the show that's great, and other things on the show I could give a shit less. Less. I think I said less. But point taken. This is absolutely the worst fucking show out of all wrestling programs. Raw sucks. I can't sit the 3 hours and watch this bullshit live. I try to. I've done it. Again, like I said, I put my face in the phone, looking through shit, talking to my friends, and doing shit like that. I do not care about Monday Night Raw so much. Matthew Consuelo totally agrees. SmackDown is okay. It is worth watching for 2 hours because, again, it's 2 hours. So there you go. Matt 87 Eagle. Holy shit. Where the hell have you been, Matt? You've been sitting there watching the show and not talking? Unlike you, you're usually very annoying. Just kidding with you, man. All right, he says the story was interesting at first, but now I can't really get into Miz versus Dexter Lumis. I wish Ciampa wasn't injured. I don't know, man. I don't particularly care for this storyline. I was getting aggravated after, I think, the 6th week of this shit. I'm like, when are you going to get to the fucking point? And then I guess apparently they were running out of ideas, so they just came up with this fucked up, pathetic idea. I don't know, man. I'm not really happy with WWE. Ever since Vince McMahon fucked it all up, I have not. It's been very hard for me to want to get into WWE content outside of the pay-per-views. I don't particularly care for the week-to-week shows. They are just too mind-numbing and boring. I'd rather do something else sometimes. All right, let me go into other comments that Matthew Consuelo stated. He says, has Triple H booking been stale? Yes, ever since the after the Clash at the Castle, it has been very stale. Not really. After Extreme Rules, excuse me. After Extreme Rules and we got into the Crown Jewel, he kind of went off the rails. I have not been very entertained by his content, especially on Raw. SmackDown, like you said, was actually somewhat entertaining, but still, Sami Zayn is really holding SmackDown up, truthfully. His commentary, his interaction with everyone in the bloodline is fucking amazing. And the Usi, holy shit. When he came up with that, I saw Roman Reigns. He literally had everyone almost falling on their fucking face. Daniel says Hunter hasn't been very oozy lately. Yeah, I don't know what his deal is. I guess apparently Stephanie's not been given the old good old hump job. I'm just kidding around, guys. Anyway, let me see here. What we got? Matthew Consuelo again. All right. Holy shit. Matthew Consuelo, man, you are MVP of the night, bro. MVP of the fucking night with the chat. He needs to get rid of the Crown Jewel pay-per-view. Sorry, but that's never going to happen because the Arabs have WWE by the balls for another, I think, 5 years or something like that. Who knows? Matthew Consuelo says, you think he should keep the Clash at the Castle? Yeah, I think that is a great idea. I also like the Super Showdown pay-per-view they had back in 2018 at the Australia show. I think that would be a great thing to do every once in a while, like have a pay-per-view out in a foreign country like the UK or Australia. I think that's some cool shit. I think that's really fun. Different scenery, you see a big stadium, it feels like a WrestleMania type of deal, even though we all know it's not WrestleMania. It'll never be like WrestleMania, but whatever. Matthew Consuelo says, I miss the old scratch WWE logo. Absolutely, 100% agree with you. That was the Attitude Era at its finest. So, anyway, let me go into this Billy Gunn thing. He's, again, like I said, started in 1989, and yet 30 plus years later, he's riding a wave of popularity that few could have even seen coming. Currently managing the acclaimed Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, Daddy Ass, as what he goes by. Has taken on a life of its own, so much that fans can buy official AEW merchandise that reads "Scissor Me Daddy Ass." In a recent happy hour sit down with Captain Corner, Gunn remarked on his current run while noting how much fun he has been having lately. I have no earthly idea why I'm still a hot commodity, Gunn said. I should be playing golf somewhere and retired. When sons Austin and Colton turned on their father and in doing so effectively broke up the Gun Club as fans knew it, Caster and Bowens came to his aid. The rest, as the saying goes, is history. In the months since, the acclaimed have gone on to secure AEW Tag Team Gold with Gunn, but their side by their side. All the while, the veterans' popularity has continued to soar with AEW fans across the country singing "Oh Scissor Me Daddy Ass." I absolutely agree. I think that is fucking hilarious and outrageously funny. So while his days of running around with D-Generation X may be over, Gunn's love and appreciation for the fans has yet to waver, and he's savoring every moment. And that's pretty much all I'm going to have to read here because nothing else more important. So yeah, Billy Gunn is living the high life under this acclaimed tag team. And I got to admit, I am enjoying the shit out of it. It is one of the funniest things I've ever seen on AEW. It is very entertaining. It is very much like a Sami Zayn in the Bloodline type of situation. So I'm happy for Billy Gunn. I'm glad he found a niche in this company still at his age. He's not able to wrestle as good as he used to. He's still pretty decent though. But he is a great manager. He's very entertaining. He interacts very well with the acclaim Anthony Bowens and Max Caster very well. And I think what he does on that show is funny as shit. So that's all I have to say on that. Anyway, last thing, and then we will close out shop with this show. Matthew Consuelo says that theme songs for Raw and SmackDown are horrible. I don't even know what the fuck they are anymore. AC/DC, I think, is gone. I don't even think Have a Good Time is still available or even being used. I don't know, man. It's really fucked up. From what I heard, they're going to be changing the set by next year. They've just been holding off so they don't scare the investors with all this sudden change out of nowhere. So they're like slowly making these changes as they go so they don't shock or scare anybody with all these changes that they're trying to make. So they're just taking it nice and easy while they do it. So it is what it is, I guess. But anyway, guys, that's all I have to say at this time. We lasted an hour and 10 minutes. Congratulations to all of you maintaining the show. And Daniel, I will read your comment and then we'll close up shop. I miss the old songs for wrestlers. Some are better than others, honestly. Roman and Seth are still good in my opinion. And Matthew Consuelo is asking new stages next year. Yes, that is what's been rumored that is going to happen. We are going to see new sets and everything else for the two shows. So hopefully we might see a difference between the two and they don't look exactly the same. But anyway, guys, that's all I have to say at this time. You know what to do. Hit the like button if you like the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. Of course, as always, leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. And I thank you guys very much for watching and have a great night, guys. Bye.